Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where Rangers again just cannot win in the league. I mean, we've had a a great win against Victoria Pilsen on the Tuesday night. The same team plays on the Saturday and they can't beat a significantly worse Dundee team. Obviously, there's two different games to contend with there. Victoria Pilsen are coming out and looking to take the game airs at Ibrox because they think they can win. Dundee are coming sitting back and they're just taking one chance and scoring against us, and we have no retaliation. Similarly in Motherwell last week, we couldn't finish off and get the second goal. It came back to bite us. We played poorly, and Motherwell get a one each draw out of that, which was the same for us this week. We were the team to chase back and get the late goal and equalise, and aye, it was a bit of a riot of a performance for the full 90. At least against Motherwell, you could maybe see the first 25 minutes we were going in a positive direction, and it completely just all the players shat the bed. But we'll get into it. We'll give our thoughts on it. And if you do enjoy the podcast, if you like, subscribe, and share, and leave your comments in the section below, and we'll get back to them because I'm sure there'll be a lot of discourse already this season. It's not been easy to watch the games in the league, the first two games where we've had the opportunity to start really, really well, bedding a lot of new players into what Rangers is about, and the manager, of course, taking a bit of pressure off him. It's just went the complete opposite direction. Russell Martin is now under immense pressure for fans that didn't want him for the start. They've now got ammunition even further to where they don't believe in him. Maybe people who were willing to give him a chance aren't already. Just losing belief in him and the players. But I think just Saturday in general was just terrible. Every aspect of the game was terrible.
It's unwatchable again. Unwatchable. These are games. You're looking at the first two games. It's all right. We know away to Motherwell's it can be a difficult game at times. But this is a game here for me. I was expecting a comfortable result personally. I was expecting 4 out of 5. Seas into Europe, maybe rest a couple of boys as well. And Rangers thought, not going to do that. Going to make it a hard day at the office. Already scunnered. Already feel like it's sort of done already. Really, innit? It feels like just to me anyway. It does. I mean, when we get on to obviously the players and what have you, but the boy on the screen there, we were told was a decent enough player. I've not seen it yet. I've not seen anything for Aaron's here to tell me he's decent enough at all. It's just shocking again. Just
Nah,
absolutely shocking. And this is the first your first home game of the season, and for a title match that, as I say, this season you have to win. You have to do it. I don't care what this guy was getting all the what I mean, not the talking it, but like we were right, we're coming here, we're going to win, whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's just us in our panic stations or whatever, but I'm sorry, that was unbelievably you could that was unwatchable, mate.
nah,
Absolutely unwatchable.
nah. I think the thing with Russell Martin and his coaching staff coming in this summer is like, it's going to be a process. We were all saying that it was going to be a timed
You
thing.
still
But we need to see
we
something
need to
on the
see something
pitch
here.
to see the
We need to see
direction that
something
we're
here.
going in.
I'm not seeing a single thing here for Russell Martin. I like the guy. I'm trying to get behind the philosophy and all this kind of stuff. But I'm sorry, see when the players can't pass the ball, that is a I mean, watching the Rangers play, it's terrible, mate. It's shocking that I just the way hefty touches and the passing of the ball, as I say, is just unbelievably bad. And then the two difference, I know it's not hanging, but when you're watching Dundee are out with the ball, obviously at half time, us just running side to side.
Hmm.
I just, you know what I mean. And then when the Rangers players do have the ball, they're all doing fancy. See if Tavernier, if anytime I'm at a gate, I see Tavernier do that mad like cross, like he just pings it. I'm like, mate. What are you doing? It's a, you know what I mean? You're on the bench. You know what I mean? Just pass the ball about. Get a wee. I don't know. As I say, mate, it's unwatchable. Aye. There's a reason why I'm bald. You know what I mean? It's no
It's
stressful
no
being a
good.
Rangers fan at all. You know what I mean? It's not stressful at
Aye,
all.
it's no good for anybody. This level of performance, and as we mentioned, of course, the same team played that started against Victoria
I mean,
Pilsen, which was a good performance by all accounts. I didn't see it
night and day.
live, but this was a different challenge where these teams and these Rangers players, no matter who really comes into the side over the past few years, they can always raise the level when it comes to European games. But when it comes to the bread and butter league games, it just doesn't seem to be there. And I don't know if that's tactically, I don't know if it's mentally, I don't know what it is because we've got good enough players there to beat Dundee, and for whatever reason, we just can't seem to do it in the first two games this season against teams that probably will be finishing in the bottom six of the table. So that doesn't make me positive for what's to come. I think the other thing is we're not going to play in the league now for a while. I think if obviously we get through against Victoria Pilsen here, Rangers have asked to postpone the game against St Mirren, which would have been the next league game. If that is played before the Celtic game, fair enough. But it looks like the next league game is going to be against Celtic, who are already 4 points ahead of us, which is laughably bad considering they've been away to Aberdeen, St Mirren at home, two maybe tougher fixtures compared to our two,
Easily.
where we should be taking maximum points for that. That's no question. I think the fact that Rangers fans are at this stage already, it shows you that there's not the patience anymore. Like this has been Gio, this has been Beale, this has been Clement. Ever since, the only guy that got a bit of time was Gerrard because it felt like we were on the trajectory to being a Rangers team
Because
again and we
we could
could beat
beat
the teams
Dundee.
easily.
Aye.
Aye, and it's all these managers have had that problem since, and realistically, we're at the point where we shouldn't have to be relying on a big, massive rebuild and all this stuff. But we're at it. It's going to again take longer than two games.
I
I
would.
thought that even before we drew the two
Aye.
games, but I'm not seeing anything here.
I'm not. Listen, it's 100%. There's still so many games of football to play and everything, all that kind of stuff. But I'm sorry, it's the same. It feels like the same story, different season, really. I would also question these players. Do they actually want to be here? I mean, the core group that are sort of still here, do they actually, you know what I mean? Or is it just about making the dough and looking, as I say, looking good on the Instagram, getting the ladies in, you know what I
That's
mean?
that's how I don't
That's what
understand
it
how
feels like.
you can play with Rangers and still throw the towel in. How are they not determined to be successful at this club? Like, it's just crazy to me. And we spoke about it last week. The whole episode was titled "Rangers have a mentality issue." They do. Everybody in this team, the club in general, just has an issue when it comes to being a successful team. And I don't know how that changes or where that is stemming from, but a lot of the players that are involved in this team, fair enough, a few players have only been here for a few seasons, like this is Shefty's second season, for example. But I mean, Suter's been here long enough, Cyril Dessers has been here long enough, Tavernier's been here way long enough to
Mhm.
understand the credentials it takes to be a successful Ranger. And Tavernier has been at times in his career, and for whatever reason, we just cannot seem to get something to
Um,
click.
no, we can't. I mean, I'm done talking about that guy. I really couldn't. I couldn't care. I'm not. You know what I mean? He has to go after this season. But I mean, you just getting out of the team here, Butland. I mean, what's going on with this guy? I would love to know what's going on with this guy in his head because I feel like he's past it now. I feel like he 100% should have been moved on. Why are we not making any moves? I see we're getting obviously centre halves and whatever we'll talk about, but where's the move on the goalkeeping front? I'm sorry, Rangers need a better goalkeeper. Somebody I'm not scared to watch play with the ball out the back of the feet.
Nah, I don't think they'll get a goalie in. Really, I think they've got
You can't go with Butland all season. I'm sorry, you can't. He's sting me as I say, but he seems past it to me, and he doesn't seem
Butland's a
comfortable
fine
with it.
goalie, but for the way that they want to play out for the back, I think it's going to cause issues. I think any goalie though is going to cause issues with that. I think Butland has definitely improved already on his passing out for the back. There's just going to always be
But the
errors with
goals
doing
he
that.
concedes, mate, the goals he concedes, it's like he's half asleep.
Aye,
Or
I mean, the goal in this game was
and
avoidable. It was a big
it's
Luton
that's
header. Like
I just think we need another goalkeeper in personally.
I would
I
like to
just
think it is probably somewhere they're still thinking about, but
it has to be. It
it's
was the
just
first area where for
there's
me
not
when the
been
sub
really
was
that much talk about somebody coming in or somebody leaving, and I feel like we can't have Kelly Butland and then somebody else coming in to challenge. It's going to one of them are going to have to go out for another goal to come in, and that's probably the biggest problem we have at the moment is players need to continue to keep leaving so we can make room and make the space to get other guys in. But aye, Butland should have done a lot better with the goal. The passing out for the back thing is always going to cause me anxiety, whether we've got a team that does it or not. I think Butland, he'll have to keep improving on that, unfortunately. But looking at the rest of the team, Max Aaron's at right back.
terrible,
He was,
terrible.
it just, he looks so weak. To me, he
That this
just,
whole team looks weak.
but he's like one of the players that I thought, right, Premier League experience coming in. He's had a season last year in the La Liga. Maybe he's improved as a player. I still think in time, he might do, but the early signs for Max Aarons are that he's been weak defensively. He doesn't have the ability to go forward, um, and it's been so far an unfortunate signing for somebody you want to displace Tavernier.
Just terrible, mate. I was to say, if they was getting a big talk, and you got to remember how many games did he actually play in Spain? But he
I
played
think
it
it
at the
was
Glen
five
time.
he played in total.
So, you know what I mean? It's a lot. I think it's a lot to ask this guy to come in straight away and be you're going to play every game when he's spent probably what the last couple of seasons really struggling to get game time, struggling to get. I mean, I remember when Leeds were trying to get him, and then he obviously went to Bournemouth, and then he never got a game at all. So
Hmm.
it's difficult on that front. As I say, it just feels like we've got another one of them that was, oh, but his Premier League experience, he was good. Like I can't and then he comes up here and he's
Aye, he's
not really
kind
at
of
it.
past it. I think that was maybe the signing policy I kind of wanted to move by, to be honest. But I think the when Max Arns the chat came up about signing him, I thought, right, this is a player that's at least still got credentials to be a good player. Like he's had a
Mm.
couple of loans and stuff, but I think in time, I think Aaron's will adapt to the culture in the club. But so far, he's been weak, he's been poor, and I think he's been an easy target in the team, whether he's at right or left back. To be quite honest with you, the two centre halves, Nasser Jiga obviously sent off straight red card, last man. John Souttar plays him into trouble. Just a guy that I've liked. To be fair, he was good against Pilsen. He's shown that he's got the qualities to be a really good centre back in the modern days game. Anyway, unfortunate we'll be missing him for the next one or two games for domestically. Not sure if it's just straight red and he's banned for the Alloa game. I'm not sure if it will be in the league, but he's going to be a miss regardless of who we play because he's at least been the only competent defender that we've had back there. And it was avoidable. It was avoidable again. And John Souttar next to him just isn't at that quality. He isn't at that level. I mean, there's so many times where John Souttar's just his head's in the clouds, man. But he's running back towards his goal, and there's a Dundee boy chasing him. He thinks he's got all the time in the world. It's for me the amount obviously they pass the ball together was apparent with the stats that came out after this game. But John Souttar just doesn't do anything with the ball. Like if that's what you want to do, play out for the back. He's not taking the risk, or he's picking the wrong option, or he's holding on to the ball for too long. And I, like we've said in previous weeks, he is fine to be an option, but he cannot be a starter for Rangers.
I don't even think he's fine to be an option. I just think he's a clown. I think the guy's. I mean, you just said everything perfectly there. You're telling me we've not got. Obviously, we're getting this boy in now, hopefully, but yeah, I mean, I just can't watch John Sutter play. I want to jump on the park anytime he gets the ball. I
Nah,
really
he
do.
is infuriating to watch. I will agree with that. He is.
As I say, just a donkey. I've said everything I've said about him, obviously, the last couple
Mm-hmm.
of things, but aye, maybe as an option, as you said there, but
Nah,
even that,
as a
the
starter,
only
as a
option
guy
I
that
would have,
you're relying on, nah.
I would only have Sutter probably, handing out match day programs or something if he wants to be involved in the club personally, but that's just me. I just can't stand the guy.
Which is again, everybody has their opinions about these players, and especially John Souttar, who's been here and he's still making the same mistakes as he made in his opening season here. So, aye, not a great performance again for him. Yefty in the left hand side, nice to see him back involved in the team, but similar to the right back area, it's like this. That was it was obviously a difficult game. It was like two banks of four. They were trying to play in the counter attack. It was hard to break through them, but you're kind of relying on your left and right backs to maybe take a risk. And I just don't feel like anybody took risks. I feel like Yefty's got the qualities. He got to the byline a couple of times, but not enough. And there was obviously rumours that came out during the game. I don't know if you've seen about a team in Brazil looking to get him in. 6 or 7 million that they're offering for Rangers looks to be a decent source as well. But I've not heard anything else for like Chris Jack or anything on kind of club sources with that one. So we'll wait and see. But Yefty, not great. As were the midfield. I mean, Diomande, I thought was anonymous again, really, which is unfortunate because I thought he would have been a guy that would really have took his game to a new level under this system, which I don't really know what this system is, to be fair. So maybe he's about the same, but he just doesn't. He's not the kind of like the guy that's pushing us forward to get his goals, and he just kind of seems to float about and not do too much. Um, Unlike Rothwell, it feels like he's always an option. He's always comfortable in the ball. He's always trying to push forward and move the ball quickly. it feels like Diamandi's just sitting down cross turns in the middle of the pitch for no reason. And I think he's been poor the last three games now, where I don't think many people have kind of picked up on it. But he's not the kind of guy that in that midfield. You've got Lyle Cameron and Rothwell. You need somebody in there to go and create, and he's not doing that.
He's not doing that at all, and you're just praying to get this Norwegian boy, I feel, involved.
Mhm.
Because I think he's going to be, as I say, he's going to be massive. I think he's the one that's going to unlock it all. You get two workers there, as you're saying, Rothwell and Cameron, who I like the two of them. As I said, Rothwell knows what's he obviously expected of him. Obviously, that's why he came
Mhm.
here. I don't know with Deal Mandy. I don't know what it is. I just think maybe he thought he was going to get maybe a move or whatever. I told you
Mhm.
I'd have moved Ham and Raskin on personally. That's just me. I'd have moved the two of them on. We need the money. We need to try and invest in the team, and you know what I mean. Again, I would have just moved the two of them on. If he's no rolling about the park like he's made Dessers and all, you know what I mean. You don't really notice him in the last couple of games, do you?
Nah, I think he's been poor for the last few. To be fair to him, the rest of the team, as you say, Lyle Cameron came back in for his second start. I think he
Big
done
dog in the
fine
house.
again. Him and
Big dog.
Rothwell are actually at the level. I think where like they're at least trying to get us forward, at least trying to
Because they're
play for the
workers, mate.
badge. Aye.
That's it. They're workers. They're playing for the team. They're not playing for self. They're playing for the team, the two of them. That's the difference, I feel like, with a lot of
Mhm.
these other players where it feels like maybe they're hangry for themselves. But you know Cameron, you know what I mean? Big dog. Big dog. Woo hoo. He's had to work for these opportunities, do you know what I mean? It's just I'm not
Mhm.
saying others haven't, but you can tell he appreciates being a Rangers player. You can just
Aye,
tell
that's
it.
probably where we're at with him. Aye. Mhm.
You know what I mean? The two workers and the
He's
rest.
took his opportunities well when he started the last two games. So I think he's somebody that we can get behind and think right. He didn't have too bad a game, and which was a kind of awful performance collectively. But the two wide men weren't in the game at all. Again, like we were talking about with the left and right back, just could not figure out how to break a team down, and that is concerning to me because we're going to face this a lot this season, and the fact that we can't break down Dundee, who were terrible at the start of the season, getting beat off lower league opposition, coming to Ibrox, setting up, and not even anything different to what we would expect, and doing it well. They know they're going to score if they score first, and they've got a good opportunity to take something for the game because we are not the team that can go and get an equaliser quick and then score the second goal. So it's been an issue that's been ongoing for under how many managers now?
How many? And do you know what as well? I want to see a bit of bravery from my wide man. That's why I like Ant-Man the other night. He showed a bit of courage, a bit of bravery when he ran at people and when you know what I mean, he took a run. You could tell the defenders were absolutely bricking it. My boy Gasman, I'm still to see. I know he's got to be the goal on that, the odd goal, what have you, which has been great and everything. But I'm still to see him take somebody on. Like, go take somebody on. Let me see your full on quality. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to be. I don't want to be too hanging on they two. Do you know what I mean? At the
Aye,
end of the day,
it's a whole new environment for the two of them.
violent for
They've
them.
been
You
good
know
the
what I
other
mean?
night. Gasama's been the
Especially Ant-Man, who just he came in the other night, first game straight away thrown in, was brilliant. And you're expecting obviously a bit of thing as well. You got to obviously, I don't want to be Clement and be like, oh, sports science or this pattern, but you got to hang me as well, probably for himself, physically and mentally, just to get up to speed with what probably everyone else has got involved in, you know what I mean, with so far. And then obviously, as I say, the gas man, it's one of them in it where it's you're just anytime he touches the ball, you just want to see
hmm
him score. You know what I mean? He's
I
that
think it
precious to himself.
that's it. He's scored four goals now, all in the Champions League, and he's to then translate that to in the league as well. I think it was a difficult game for both wide men, to be quite honest with you. It was like you could see they were trying, and it was just like, the pass had to go back, and then it had to go back and round and switch again. There was no real pathway to get through what Dundee were facing us with. So it was unfortunate for the two of them, but I still think there's a lot to come for the two of them. Cyril Dessers, on the other hand, a number nine who just is more concerned about
Get
throwing
up,
himself at the floor.
get up. Why
There's,
are you on the floor?
I
Get
remember
up
there was one
off
in the
the
second
floor.
half. I can't remember if it was Tavernier or somebody else. They threw a ball into the box. It's within distance for him to make
Distance.
contact with, and he's. I watched him. He just threw himself to the floor rather than try and get the ball, and that is annoying to me. It's because it's been like every season now. And last season, he had a good season. He scored goals, but there was still so much frustration in all of those games. And like Saturday's game as well, it's just frustrating. Like we need better in that area. Like he'll score the odd goal
A
for you,
proper
but
goal scorer.
like the 97th minute winner that we maybe would have got. he was offside like he always is. He's not got any spatial awareness. He doesn't feel like he's got any awareness as a player really, and he
Mm.
cannot be the focal point for this team. He's not good enough, and we need better. Like the two strikers that have come on, he salvaged the game for us. Or Beale signings that we've made our mind up about when Beale was here. That right, why we signed these two guys for a combined 10 million, and they're still here trying to win
Yeah.
us games that they've been
You look at
involved
the other,
in the past.
you look at the obviously the more experienced forwards we've kind of lost out to. You know what I mean? De Jong's a bit of
Mhm.
a pro. In a heartbeat, you would snap him up. Even Jamie Vardy right now, I was a bit hanging on it.
Mhm.
I just want somebody that can score goals, man. And it's, do you know what I mean? It's not a pain. Like Dessers, I think about that chance. So I mean, a couple hang me for the Champions League where he's right in. All he has to do is just bury it, and he
Mhm.
still misses it. But mate, pick yourself. Why are you throwing yourself about looking for a penalty? You know what I mean? Why you
Nah.
just? It's frustrating to watch. And as you said, there, Bale signing's still here.
Nah.
Tells you everything, man. You know what I mean? It's the club can try and offload them as much as hang me, but you look at these players. If you were in these player situations, I'm not leaving. I'm on this kind of money. I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean?
That's
You
it.
think about it, what them, but I still think to myself, anytime I watch, I think these are some of the biggest cowards I've ever seen play football. I just think they're some of the softest, but like no, none of them have got real actual guts, man, to actually just grab a game and actually just go for it. Do you know what I mean? It's maybe it's just me watching them, but I just think they're soft as butter, man.
Mhm.
I
And
mean, look at
I'm thinking like obviously with the new guys it takes time, but I'm talking about the guys that
that's
have
what I'm
been
on
here.
about. No, listen, I'm not having a go at Ant-Man or Cameron or anything like that. I'm on about the guys, as you say there, the guys that are still here. You lot are soft, man. You are actual weak. You're actually soft. You know what I mean? I just
And I
can't
mean,
watch.
like, think about it. We've only won maybe a handful of games domestically at Ibrox this year. Obviously, last season we went on that long run where we just kept on getting
Which
beaten
is
and being 2-0
ridiculous,
down.
man.
We salvaged it at the end of the season with a couple of good results, and then we're back at this point when we can't win games at Ibrox against Cannon Fodder, really. And that's no disrespect to Dundee, but we should be beating Dundee at home. That's
Well,
the be all and end all of it all.
but as you said, honestly, at the start there, like, Gerrard had no problem getting a tune out of the players when it came to the League King. That's why he got patience. That's why he got time. Martin here's put himself, I feel like, straight away.
He's
Already there was so many fans. Already
on
fans didn't
Tuesday and
want
that
him.
he was a lot of steps in front because I was like, right, I've got a manager now that can make big decisions and big calls for big games
Aye, aye.
and do what he wants to do. We play well, we win the game, and then he
Mm.
right, fair
His
enough, he plays the
decision.
same game, but
Aye. Well, it's not going the way. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll throw Kieran Dowell on.
well, that was where I
What?
was going to get to next. So obviously the substitutions, we go 1-0 down. The reaction to that is bring on Kieran Dowell. The reaction for the fans showing you what exactly they thought about it. They booed the substitution. They booed Kieran Dowell when he came on. And that to me is just pent up frustration and anger for the same thing, repeating and repeating. We're 1-0 down at home, and we're relying on a guy who's never put a good game in for Rangers in his career here. This is his third season here. He
Aye.
came in as a free transfer for Beale, I think it was. And he was involved in his first season. Wasn't involved too much. He was a bit part player. He goes out on loan. He goes out on loan to Birmingham last season. He comes back. Everybody's expecting him to leave, and he's now apparently a focal point and a leader in this dressing room. What I would like to get an answer for Russell Martin is right. So if everybody's got a clean slate like Kieran Dowell, then why
Mm.
is Jose Cifuentes just training on his own? Why is Rabbi Matondo just training on his own? Ben Davies? Why are all these guys pushed over to the side? But Kieran Dowell, a guy that we know is not good enough and we know should be leaving the club, is apparently in the leadership group. Apparently it was a clean slate for everybody, but seems like it's not. And that's the question I would ask Russell Martin because that is just
Mates
unfair.
bets in it. Mates
That is
rates.
that is pretty much
Know what I
what
mean?
I think it is.
I played with him in that, and I think with him, he's a good lad. I'll have him about. I don't want to get rid of him. You know what I mean?
And
He is.
that's not me saying that all the players that are training on their own are good enough to play for Rangers, but why
No, no,
isn't that the
no.
same
I'll
situation
be
for
honest
them?
with you. I'll be honest with you. I think I'd rather watch Ben Davies play than John Souttar play. I think at
Mm.
least he knows to pass the ball. You know what I
Aye,
mean?
and you thought Ben Davies would maybe be in with a shout this season because of that, and he's not been moved
Tell
on.
you,
There's no rumours about
uh,
him. He's just
see,
there collecting dust.
see, just to talk on him, obviously, that tells you this is how I feel like how out of touch most people at the club are. after the result of that and everything. Happy birthday, Ben Davies. I seen on my Instagram this morning.
Hmm.
I thought, are you kidding on? Are you actually trying to wind up your own fan base? Like, are you kidding me
It
on?
seems like that a lot of the time. It does. But
No, but you're right
that
in
was
that.
one of the biggest parts of the game
You're
right
right.
now
If
coming
it,
on.
if it's a clean slate for every day, you know what I mean? Why is all these other ones not getting maybe a shot or what have you than your mate here? That's the thing.
That's the
And,
thing for me.
his reaction, maybe I've just skimmed past it or whatever. Obviously, we're all raging. We don't want to bother about it at all. But when he's like, "Oh well, if it's going to if it affects him, then it's also going to affect the others." Is what you're like, "Nah, mate, we're just tired. We're absolutely tired of seeing the same losers come on the park and no do anything. Just collect a wage. That's it. We're tired of
But
it."
it's like what. So Russell Martin said after the game, obviously he's going to back his players. I get that. He's coming out and saying, "Oh, he trains well and all that." Like, aye, he might
Don't care.
train well, but see when you apply that to an actual game, we're all watching the same game. I'm not seeing Kieran Dowell do a lot
So,
of the
mate,
stuff, and I think Russell Martin will think, right, he's not doing a lot of stuff he does in training because he's not played well ever.
because there's no I always think he looks some of the bit better footballers. I always think he's Sergio Aguero. Like if they would say, "Oh, he was terrible training and all that," guy would bag in 50 goals a season. You know what I mean? Like
Shows
doesn't
you,
matter.
aye.
It doesn't matter what you do in the training park. Big moments, big players can step up and thrive for it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's
Kieran Downs, he can't handle it. He cannot handle it. You could see when everybody was booing him. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the mentality to play for his club. He's too
no,
soft.
because what you do if somebody boos you is you turn around and you put a performance in, you score the winning goal. Really, that's somebody that I know is mentally strong enough to play for
No,
Rangers. That if they do that after that kind of reception, and you can look at it both ways. I think for me, I just felt so much fucking anger and rage about the substitution, and I was like, we're 1-0 down, and this is what we're
panicking.
thrown onto the pitch.
This
Like,
bit, it's been his substitutions. I feel are just panic substitutions. They aren't like right. This is the right decision to make. This is going to affect the game positively.
oh, I
It's
get
such a
on Saturday he was
panic.
just flinging shit at the wall to see if it stuck.
Oh yeah, you come on. You know what I mean? What you on about? I'm the linesman. I can't come on. No, just go on, please. Like, you know what I mean? That's what it
Hmm.
feels like. As I said, there's already fans who didn't want him. I wasn't keen, but then I've believed in what he's got and all that kind of stuff, and absolutely time, patience, whatever. But I'm sorry, you lose that first game at the end of the month, and it feels like.
Nah, the daggers will be out after that. That's
And it's the
apparent.
same circle every season. This is what I'm on about. It's obviously we want to get Champions League and we want to be involved in those big, massive games. But I'm sorry, I'll take winning the league every season
See when you
or
can't translate it between the two competitions.
two
That's the same starting 11 for both games, and it's a
games.
totally different game. So, aye, it's unfortunate, but we did obviously have a good game against Victoria Pilsen the other day, which got the buzz back for a couple of days until they ruined it again on the Saturday. That was the team that played that one, of course. Gassama scoring two, Dessers with a goal and an assist, Ant-Man with a goal and assist that we've kind of briefly touched on. So I think there'll be a couple of changes. I think there is room for a couple of changes. I think you need to put Raskin in where Rothwell is and move Rothwell to one of the other positions. Raskin's best position is there, and we've not accommodated him so far this season. Looking at the rest of the team, I think Emmanuel Fernandez, we have to see him at some point. Suter's not worthwhile playing again. Throw Fernandez in, see what he's got. Tavernier will come back in. The front three, there's not much you can do. Mikey Moore, of course, might be involved now, which is nice. But the striker position continues to be a problem. And as embarrassing as it is, Cyril Dessers is the focal point of that line again. But I can't see the whole team changing, but I can see at least a couple of changes, personnel, and hopefully giving Fernandez a bit of debut to see what he's like.
Well, you pay 2 million for a boy, you want to see him on the park.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Especially paying 2 million for a boy for Peterborough.
Aye, so that
I want to
it's a
see
wild
something.
signing in its own, but if he's not good enough to start games, then why did we sign him? So
I didn't
we'll
see him at
see.
all, exactly. I mean, you would say go over here, try and make it as comfortable as possible. You've got the lead and what have you, but I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know
Hmm.
where this team, man.
I know
I just,
you're 3-0 up. You've got obviously like the Panathinaikos game we were 2-0 up. A goal changes that either way. We're now 3-0 up. It's a mammoth task for Victoria Pilsen to come back into it. You just hope we keep it cool, calm, collected, get through to the playoff round, and we can get ourselves more money there. We've got a massive opportunity to get into the
yeah.
Champions League. When you take away, sorry, the fact that we're pissing the league, there's still a massive opportunity that we've got to bring in guaranteed money to the club.
It's no telly, this, is it?
I don't know yet. I would imagine it would be on BBC if it was again,
Fucking,
but we'll see.
that's
Um,
just looks like we're taking the telly money, aren't we, for the weekend games? So
Aye. But aye, that'll take care of itself. I hope we can get through it. But somebody else that's looking very close to joining the club as a centre half, which is nice. Noble Mendy for Real Betis. I think it was like a €4 million fee that we're agreeing with Real Betis, long term contract. He's 20-year old. He looks strong. He looks powerful. He looks exactly like the type of players that we should be bringing in and nurturing for the future and hopefully making a sell on for. Looking at his stats, athletic, he looks like he will be good next to Nasser Giga. And I've seen a lot of people say, right, he's not played that many minutes in first team football, but these guys that come through in Spain, for example, are playing for the 16 in the starting team, so he should come over here and be a starter. If we're paying €4 million for him and a couple of million for Fernandez, and they're not starters, then why are we signing them? So I think he's somebody that will be a partner for Nasser Giga, and I think he'll be featuring more for the start really than Suter when he's here. Hopefully, gives us two big boys at centre half that we can hopefully rely on there. But he's played limited minutes. He played in the Conference League semi final, I think, when they were down to their bare bones with injuries and stuff. And he apparently played really well there. Of course, they got to the final against Chelsea. So I think we've got a promising player here in a position that we've desperately needed somebody in since we've signed Giga and Fernandez to just be the guy that's the partner for one of those two.
I mean, let's hope so. I hope Boy comes in, he does really well because I can't, as I say, I can't go another game watching John Sutter, man. I just can't. It's a hard watch, mate.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, if 20, as you say, you're coming for Spain as well. Do you know what I mean? Well, I don't know, mate. Just hope he comes in and does the business, mate. Really, to be honest with you, I'm sick of watching some of these other lot. And hopefully the only concern for me is, but how many players we got going to AFCON?
No, well, that's going to be a big thing. I think he is French, but he's maybe leaning towards Senegal. So we'll wait and
Choose
see.
French, brother. Choose
Aye.
French. Choose the French. Come on. You know what I mean? We need
Um,
it for the whole season.
so we'll see. That is a big issue when it comes to it. I mean, we've got Diomande if he's still going to be here. We've got Giga, Gassama, I
That would be our
believe, is
two. That
as
would be our
well.
two main centre halves away.
Aye. So you need depth in that area. Whether we
Leon King and Suter at the back. Nah, I'm all right.
Aye, Leon King and bring back Sands on loan again to play there.
Ding
I think
dong.
it's going to need another one to come in. I think is maybe like a more experienced head, like maybe a 35-year-old, just a guy that's been about and
Yeah, well,
knows what he can do.
that's where you thought Cody would have been the thing with, but as you said the other day, Hangman in the game and that, like, if you need convincing to come here, then you
That's
shouldn't
it.
want to come here at all, you know what I mean?
That's it, and that's what Russell Martin stood by. But I'm hoping we can stand by these players improving because it's been two really poor games
I tell you what,
in the league.
I might seem like an old man saying this and all that kind of stuff, but going to throw the suit on proper. That's what I want to say to him. Going to stop dressing like you're modelling for like M&S or Next or something. You're going to throw the proper suit on, please. Thank you. That's probably how when you start winning games. No, I'm only joking, but no, listen. It's going to require a lot of patience. I feel this season. It's just
hmm
I can't believe that's as I say, first games again already, and we're feeling like that's it already.
Nah,
We gave ourselves such a mountain to climb, such
already.
a and we just hope. Come on, need to kick on here. And I don't know, man. Just
It's just,
scunnered already, mate.
I know, it's just the way you feel. It's just the way that Rangers make you feel. But we've got a game tomorrow, hopefully that we can at least improve on and get a strong performance. I mean, it's going to be different because it's a team that we're comfortable playing with this style of football. So it probably will be easy on the eye at times, but as long as we get through, and then we've got the cup in Saturday, which should be an opportunity to get a lot of
Rotation.
these guys in, like Mikey Moore, and get maybe Thelo Asgard and Egeman back involved in the squad. So we'll wait and see. But that'll be the podcast for this week. Again, we'll be back next week covering that Alloa game and the Victoria Pilsen game, looking ahead to the next games that week. So we'll see you then.